Good afternoon, well, good evening. Welcome back to Plan Craft. I'm Natalie, and this evening we are going to be going through doing frames from the machine to canvas and back again. So it's all going to go mad, isn't it, on Instagram, because I didn't put Do Not Disturb on my iPad. So do you want to leave it on Streamlabs for me so I can see what I'm doing? Or what everybody else is seeing, I should say.
No, I don't know if it means I can see comment or not.
Restream will stay up on top. There you go. There we go.
So evening Deb, Sally and Carol.
And evening to everybody else who's watching on Facebook, Twitch or YouTube. So this week we've been working on frames. So Tuesday we did frames just purely on the machine. Yesterday we did frames in Canvas. And today I've been asked to do a little bit different. It's because the mic's behind him. Hang on. Put it over there, then you can't mumble. Sure?
Evening Karen and Thea.
Okay, so I've been asked this evening to do it onto Canvas on the iPad so that you can see that working. So what you're actually seeing is the screen of my iPad that's been patched through Streamlabs today. So you're not going to see my hand getting in the way, you're just going to purely see what's going on the screen. If you need me to say what I'm doing, just don't hesitate to give in a nudge. There's about a 30-second delay, just so that you know. So if you do ask any questions, try and be as detailed as possible. And good evening, Delcy and Thea.
I said Thea.
Did you?
Yeah.
Sorry. Did you say Sally?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to start on the machine. So hence we have camera set up on the machine, so that we can use one of the built-in designs. Now obviously when we're working on our machine we don't have access to things like divide and subtract, but we do have weld. So I want to show you through how we can use divide and subtract on mine. So I'm going to go to pattern, I'm going to go to my icons, and I'm going to choose one to play with. So let's go for a flower.
Your mum is watching.
Hi Mummy! So I'm going to go to this one that has lots and lots of layers to play with. And I'm going to go, okay, I'm not bothered about size at the moment. I'm going to bring this one in on the end, which means all the shapes are going to come in, like so. And go okay. It's going to come in as a group, so I'm going to set that.
Can you make sure it's over that side of the screen, because this is in the way.
Oh, because you've
I zoomed in for you, but of course it's still got, you've made it bigger, didn't you? So
moved the chat over. Hang on. No, that's not right. Okay, I'll bring it over.
that's okay. I'll move the chat. It's okay. There you go.
Sure?
Chat's chat's
Okay.
over.
So, you want to bring in all your elements that you're going to want to use in your frame at this point before we go any further. So I'm just going to use this one flower just for tonight, but you might have 2 or 3 different designs on there. You might have some text on there if you really feel that way inclined. Obviously when you're working with certainly the upper end models, you're going to have more shapes to play with than if you're working with something like a 300. So when you're ready, you're going to press save and you're going to send it to the cloud. Now it's going to come up with this notice here, and what that means is if we send that as is at the moment, it's going to come in grouped and won't ungroup allegedly. So if we go cancel, go back, click on your group, edit, object edit, and ungroup. So that then means that all our shapes are separate, but I'm going to make sure I don't tap on anything.
Evening, Irene.
Go to save, and back to cloud. And you see we don't get that message then, and it just says save successful. Go OK. Now, on your iPad. So I'm working in Safari. I've already logged in just so that I don't have to put my password on screen. I'm going to go to My Projects. And you can see that already we have the flower, and it's the very right hand to the new button. So it's C000025 on mine, but it'll be whatever the next sequential number is on Canvas. So if we tap on that, it's going to come up with two buttons. The right hand button is to download it, and the left hand button is to edit it. So we want to go to edit. And there's our flower. Now bear in mind at this point it's all still ungrouped, so if we accidentally move something it's going to move just the one shape. So I'm just going to click and drag over the top. We can go to edit and group, and I'm going to move that down to this bottom corner, out of the way to forget about it for a minute. So now we can concentrate on building our frame. So I'm going to go to basic shapes. What shape shall I go for this time in?
I don't feel the same, it looked quite good what you did.
Okay, so I'm going to scroll up. So I'm just literally dragging with my finger, and you'll see sometimes it goes a bit mad, but if it does that, just bring it back in and let go. And there's our oval. Okay, I'm going to resize it by pulling one of the corner points.
Not house a triangle.
Ah, triangle might look cool. Might try a triangle yet. Okay, so when you're happy with your frame size, this is going to be your outer edge. So we're going to go to Edit, Offset. So then we have Create Offset Line pop up. Now at the moment it's saying outward, you want to change that to inward. We want to leave our original line as is. And corner type on an oval really isn't important. So we're going to go OK. And there's our frame. So I'm going to click off that. Now click and drag. So you can see that I'm highlighting it with our little square. And you've got both selected. Go to Edit. And down the bottom of that little pop-up you have Process Overlap. So your first button is to weld, your second button is Divide, your third button is Remove Overlap, and finally you have Subtract. So we're going to subtract, and that's going to mean that we have a hole. So I'm going to go back to my group. I'm going to go to Edit, and I'm going to duplicate. So now we have two copies. Now with the grouped, we can just weld it. And this is going to be our background layer. So we can move that over our frame, wherever we want to put our flower. And I'm just paying attention to where my petals are sitting, so I don't want any weird kind of little jagged bits. Again, I'm going to click and drag over the top, go to Edit and Weld. So because we did that subtract first of all, we gave ourselves the frame on which to place our flower. So that's going to cut all as one piece. I'm going to go back to my group down here. I'm going to duplicate another one. Okay, I'm going to go to Weld, and we can cut that out of a different colour if we want to. And finally I'm going to go back to my original group, go edit, and next to group we've got ungroup. So I'm just going to ungroup it. So with one of my shapes, I'm just going to delete it. So up at the top, you'll see you've got a little percentage figure. That's how much we zoomed in. To the left of that is properties, and then we have the recycle bin. So we're going to hit the recycle bin to get rid of one shape. And then I'm going to drag out these other elements so that we can cut those out of scraps of card. Okay, so we can save, and that's going to overwrite what we've already uploaded, and we can go to download, and I'm going to send that via Wi-Fi back to my machine. Nice and easy. So back on the machine, we're going to go Home, OK, Retrieve Data, Wi-Fi. And there's our frame ready to assemble. So,
Just like the Avengers.
oh dear. So, are there any questions?
Are you going to cut it out?
I wasn't going to. Otherwise I could end up using the wrong mat. Shall we? Shall we? Cut it out? Or shall I do a triangle one? So, would you like me to repeat that again so you can see it with a triangle, or would you rather see it all cut out and put together?
No Tracy yet this morning.
No. It's all gone quiet.
Yeah. Can you do this with stamped images?
Yes.
And Carol says cut.
Cut. So yes, Karen, you can do it with stamped images in that you can still do things like your image tracing the same way as you would do any other scan. It's a little bit easier in the desktop though to do that rather than using the online canvas. You get a few more options, don't you?
Yeah. Carol says to cut it out.
Okay, cut it out it is then. So let's pick some colours, shall we? Now this could be interesting, sweetie, because we haven't got the other camera set up.
No.
So I'm going to go for...
As you said, would this be different in desktop? The process
No,
isn't,
the
is it?
process is exactly the same. You just go to, instead of going to the projects and getting it from there, you go to File, Import Your Machine, FCM. Let's go that one. And then we've got lots of orangey colours, haven't we?
Okay, so someone's just popped through and said good evening. Sorry we start. I'm on laptops, I don't know if this comes through. If you can put who you are, that'd be good, because I'm not sure.
Okay, so daffodil. Let's go for something a little bit darker as an alternative. So you can see the two.
Dad says can you do triangle as well?
Okay. 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 Let's go for that one. See see how we go from there.
What did you drop?
Only me one die cut. Right. So I'm going to bring in my mat, and you'll see this on the screen in a minute when I do a background scan. And might have to resize all of that just down just a fraction just to get it on my card actually. That's okay, because that means I can show you how you resize everything in one go and keep it all in proportion. So let's go that one round that way, that one round that way. How do you get all these to fit? Nice and easily. Spin them round. I can actually go backwards on that one too, so yeah, let's go for it. Okay. I'm just going to move that over there. Stay.
Bashing the desk like that.
That's okay, your phone's next. Right, now hopefully this will behave because it was playing me up a bit earlier.
What have you done to the poor mat? It worked perfectly for me last time.
No, it was having issues yesterday, and then the one I was using earlier was loading the other way. So fill in for me for a second while I do some filing.
Yeah.
Competition.
So, yeah, when's it finished? Finish it, has it? Got your big cards falling off there, sweetie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't forget we have our competition running, which is it our beautiful boxes?
Yeah, pretty boxes.
Pretty boxes.
You said pretty.
I said pretty.
There we go.
So we're still accepting entries for that. You've got till the end of the month.
Yeah.
To get those done.
Yeah.
And photographed and up. So we'll still look forward to those. Isn't much else to say, is there?
We have an album open for the frames from this week as well.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. So we want to see your frames from this week as well. So pop those up in the group.
Okay. So I had this a bit lighter the other day, so I'm just going to darken it down so that you can see that we have two shades of yellow, a bit of gold, and then this is actually a bit of a lighter green than what it's coming across on screen. So
This looks black.
it does, doesn't it? Let's go back to the other one. Mind you, that's nowhere near accurate either. So, to resize everything, I'm going to go to Edit, Multi-Select, Select All, OK, Object Edit, Group. Then we're going to go to Resize. Now, at this point, you can either do it by a physical amount, so if you want to set it to millimeters or inches and you want to fit it to a certain size, or we can do it by percentage. So I'm going to do it by percentage just to show you how that works. So I'm mainly looking at my big frame, fitting it in our green card, so I can move it back if I need to and keep going. That's a little bit too far. That's probably about right. If you really look at the height, maybe down just a little fraction. Go OK. So now of course everything is not in the right place at all. So we can go back to ungroup it. So I'm going to go put my bigger layer on my darkest colour. I'm going to bring this one down to go on my lighter yellow. We can then put this one onto our gold. we can put this one onto our green if we wish. And let's finally put that layer, let's put it on this dark one up here because it's a bit just there. I'm going to go OK, 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 go to cut. Now, which I think I'm going to go for the vinyl blade, just because of all those points. And most importantly, turn half cut off.
Don't know what makes you think of that.
Okay, so our pressure's currently at -6. I'm just going to knock that up one notch actually, because I'm working with the vinyl blade. And off we pop.
Your turn to infill.
My turn.
Yeah.
I usually do infill. Shoes they don't get to hear very much from these days.
I know. But I can't help that because I was working a lot. They're not asking me about work, so oh, there you go. How is work going in? Did you pass your assessment? I don't know yet. I'll let you know when I get it. If they bother. My 3 months is due.
It's the same,
22nd,
yeah,
isn't
same
it?
day as the planner sticker course, isn't it?
Yeah. So as long as I get past that day, we should be okay. So we just sat waiting for that day, really, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's getting better, I think. I was finding it a little bit easier, aren't I?
Yeah.
And they've got the call volume right down at the moment, which is nice. So we're not spending quite so much on the time on the phone. What do I do? I'm working as an IT analyst, so I'm giving technical support for a government contract.
It was doing so well.
Is it? Can you tell us what you do? I can tell you, like, all I can tell you is that it's like I said, it's IT consultant. I can't tell you which contract I work for because the security clearance I require, so I can't.
Right. Now, just because the one bit moved, I'm going to take off the other bits. So I don't need that one anymore. I'm just going to have to get a fresh bit green. That one.
So one of the green bits moved.
How dare it?
Naughty Matt.
It's my fault. I've been putting it through paces today on my. I would say I should have used my other map, but that's
MI5 lol. Not quite MI5.
Okay, so just because those bits moved, I'm just going to get rid of the things that I have managed to cut. So then it only has those last few to
Carol says the man with the golden mouse.
go. Yeah. So let's get rid of these because we've done that one, done that one. And I've done the little one. And I've done that one. So it's just the two biggies left to go. getting to the time where I'll be thinking about a new mat, isn't it? So.
They're taking the mickey out of your mat now.
Yeah. I mean, it has to put up with a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's golden mat now.
Surely that's the one I did today. So I did a bit of mat conversion today, didn't I? It got attacked with a double-sided tape. So it's really super, super high-tack mat.
Why do you want it so super high tech?
Because it's when I'm working with double-sided adhesive. So that it can sit up the other way, basically. No, it doesn't move anywhere. Well and truly.
So where to take the paint off your desk?
No. That's where I took the paint off the desk.
I rebuilt the side of my shed as it was dry.
Cool, blimey.
Didn't realise it had fallen down, Carol. Yeah, she does put them through their paces. Well and truly, don't you?
Oh yes. Yes, there isn't much I haven't thrown at different mats, is there now?
I know.
I've even done fabric on occasion when I have to. It's not my favourite thing to do, I have to say. But this one now, it was brand new when we started back after Christmas, wasn't it? So,
Yeah.
5 months old.
Yeah. Nearly 6. Might be long before it's June.
Which isn't bad, I don't think, for daily use. Ooh.
Well done.
You sound far more energetic than I was today. Right, let's see how we go. Not quite got through just in that one bit, so I'm just going to get it to go again.
How's the other one? Right,
That one's probably alright actually. So let's get that one off the mat first. And add. Come on, up you come. Let's get rid of this one. Edit. In it. Once more with feeling.
I had to watch out as I'll be stuck to all the mats.
My mat is 5 months old and has just started going sideways. Okay, if you are having trouble with mat loading issues, then what you need to do is just get a nail file on the top edge of the mat like I did and just give it a quick little file so that it's back smooth. If you rub your finger along the top, you'll be able to feel where it is that it kind of gets a bit rough and a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Serrated. That's the word I'm looking for.
I got your hair stuck to me, you know.
Yeah.
No worries, Karen, enjoy your food. Gotta go, food's there.
You can always watch back.
Yeah, it'll still be up on the tube of you and...
So what should we put in our triangle then?
circles.
Circles, that's boring. Don't need the machine to send that.
Pineapples.
How should we get the machine to send? Come on. Pineapple. Seriously?
It's better than and peaches.
Oh dear. So, do you want to bring your phone up to the other mount?
I don't know, because you're going to stick it together first.
I was going to. Means I've cut it. It seems a bit daft to cut it and not stick it together. Or shall I stick it really quickly?
Dad says an animal. Carol said I go do put pineapple on a tree. And
my mum's just started laughing.
And whoever the Facebook user is, who I'm not sure, said elephant.
Yeah, we're watching comments in Restream, so if you want your name to pop up on the stream, then if you go to chat.restream.io/FB and log in there, then your name will come up. Let's go for...
Deb says an animal too.
Nanimal. Nananimal.
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 Nananana.
So I'm going to go and pop that on between because I can. Okay. Do do do.
You could put the camera on there.
You could. But then you'd have to actually be, you know, holding the camera. Like a proper cameraman.
Nothing new, is it?
On.
Let's see. An elf slicing out of it. And the tip of the triangle is his hat. So we're going to try and use the camera so you can see what Nat is doing, so bear with me.
Let's use a little bit of 3D foam on that one actually.
I don't want to play for it. There we are.
You're being cameraman. There we go. Of course, scissors are going to need another detacking again. So I'm just popping some 3D foam in the centre. And you can do this much neater than I'm doing it. I'm going to pop my little gold centre into the middle. Oh, as close to as I can get it. Then I'm going to go for my green.
Okay, now sticking out of it, not slicing out of it. Okay. So you glue it, you glue it.
Yeah, I'm going to go for that one.
You told me about your lovely glue.
I did say about the glue earlier in the week. My little Tombow Mono. So, occasionally it takes a little longer to dry this one, doesn't it? Occasionally. But when it does dry lovely and flat. So I used to use it a lot for when I was doing like tiles and finally we're nearly there. I'm going to get my glue and just do one little dot in almost the middle. Almost. And just there we go. So from one little design on the scan and cut, we've created a little frame. Ta-da! Okay, so are we going for an F lump?
An envelope with an elf on the back.
Yeah. I think that might be pushing it. Let's see what we can find, shall we?
Let me reduce my camera back.
Okay, so I'm going to go to icon. There you go. I'll give that one to you so it can dry over there safely. Oh dear.
the day I'm having it could easily gone in. Yeah.
So, let's see what we've got on our animals. So we've got an elephant. Should we do an elephant?
Elephant with an elf on the back.
No, it's going to be an elephant with a splash of water on his back.
Oh, okay.
So, just so you can see, there's our elephant. A bit worried about his placement of his ear.
How's that glue got a fine tip? I've arthritis in my fingers and can't squeeze these little fine tip containers anymore.
It has a reasonably fine tip, but it does dry totally clear. So if you do manage
They're quite easy to squeeze, aren't they? They're not.
You don't even need to squeeze it at all. I mean, if you just hold it there, gravity will kind of do the work. Especially if all you want is the tiniest amount of glue, just literally touch it to the surface and off it goes.
This is my Carol's thing.
A beach hut and a deck chair. Oh dear. That was about a year ago, you know, because I came up on my memories the other day and I thought there's no way I'm putting that up. Okay.
Is it as sticky as the green one which gets all over your hands?
No, it's not. It's the green one has normal white PVA in, and it will go tacky when dry and sticky. Whereas the clear one is more water based. So it's really good for if you want to cover something with paper. It's quite good at drying without having all the wrinkles in it.
Can you put a container in front of the camera so I can see make these? We will when we swap back to the other camera to make our elephant. I'll put it across for you so you can see.
Okay. So we can ungroup it at this point because we know we're going to want to ungroup it and add that to our mat. We can go save. Send that to cloud. Okay. Change pen. Oh, my pen's gone off. Got bored. So, now I want to go back to my projects. I'm going to get my elephant and edit. So there's my elephant. I'm going to click and drag over the top, edit and group, and we're going to get our triangle like so, edit, offset, let's go for something a little bit wider, shall we, this time. We're going to go inwards, okay. Looks like it's going to be a warning triangle now. Warning, elephant splashing water. And subtract.
You should have done it as a star. You could do two triangles and you could add naughty elephant squirt water.
Oh dear. Like a compass.
Yeah.
So we're going to duplicate it so that we have two. We're going to weld it so we have a solid. Now before I do that, actually let's step back one. And again. And again. So I'm going to ungroup my elephant because I'm going to sort out this ear because this ear just looks wrong. So zoom in. And let's get this ear. I just want that bit there. This is always going to be a bit tricky, but I just want to grab this top handle and then we can rotate. So let's put his ear more round this way. A little bit more. Oh.
Carol says elephants having a bath in the river. Don't forget the thing.
A little bit more. It's no good, I keep going to do the Procreate shortcuts of the 2-finger tap for undo. And I'm just going to move that down there. There we go. So he's about to go and give himself a nice bath. So now we can select all, group it.
So put your mat back in centre.
Duplicate it, if you're lucky. And weld it. So there's our base one. So I'm just using a little pinch and drag action just to change my zoom. So let's take my little elephant and move him there. So you can kind of touching that triangle frame on all sides. We're going to click and drag over the top so we've got both selected, and we're going to weld it. So there's our frame with our elephant.
Nearly fam.
I'm going to duplicate our group again, and I'm going to weld it again. So this will be our base layer. So that can be one shade of grey. Then I'm going to go back to my group here. I'm going to ungroup it. Now, the eagle-eyed among you may have noticed we've lost his eye. So we're going to have to put his eye back in. So there's 2 ways that we could do that. We could cut the eye out of a really tiny bit of black card, but the easier way to do it is if we cut our background layer from black and then we use our elephant layer as grey. So I'm going to bring his ear out separately.
Deb says she keeps doing the
Actually,
2-finger tap too.
Before I do, I'm going to duplicate that, just so I have a copy to go back to. Because for this next one, I'm going to get rid of the water splash, and I'm going to select just the body and the ear. So, oh,
Draw a squiggly line.
I don't want that, you silly thing. I want that bit. There we go.
You got a squiggly line by his back.
Yeah, it's right where it's going to be annoying too. So, weld that. He's got his eye wrong. That's annoying. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Let's see if I can fix his eye. Because it shouldn't be.
No, it's part of the...
Yeah. Ooh, that's a bit naughty, naughty. I was going to have to cut him without his ear for that bit then. Okay. Let me get to this bit over here so I can delete that. So we're going to have blue, grey, then for this last bit, just his ear, so that I can have that separately and stick that on.
Cara wants to know if you're now Mahmood leading his elephant now.
Right, so, always check your work. So I'm going to save that, download it.
Excuse me.
Okay. And I hope figured out that it's on an iPad took it long enough. And I'm going to send it via Wi-Fi.
I didn't say that first time, did it?
No. Took it long enough to figure that one out, didn't it? Okay. So, going back to the machine, I'm going to go home. Okay. Retrieve. Cloud. And we have our elephant. So, we want some...
Apologies, Carol, that was quite a loud one.
You just deafened everybody.
She says you felt that up in Yorkshire. I mean, my chair moved a little bit when I did that one. This is on wheels, that's all.
What should I put it onto? That looks like that might be good elephant colour. That might be good for his ear. And then I need some watercolour. Let's go for that one.
That's not watercolour card.
It's blue.
You're not getting me.
I am. As in paint, darling. Yes, yes, yes.
That's not watercolour card.
So let's put my dark grey there for my ear. Here.
Here is me ear.
My light grey for my body of my elephant. And these may not necessarily be in the same order that they are on there. So it's going to be rejig. And I can't decide what to use for my frame. Let's go for...
Purple.
Let's go for that one, because that kind of tones in, doesn't it? It's not boring, it's a lovely card. Right, let's give everything a good press down so it doesn't lift. Format. Going to do a background scan. Off it goes. So 2-finger tapping in the Affinity apps as well, which doesn't help. Okay, so grabbing my ear, my dark grey. Let go of my ear. Light grey for my elephant. Blue for my water. And then I have my frame just there. That's awfully close, isn't it?
That's perfect.
This could be interesting. Shall we go for it?
Yeah.
So.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Yeah. And off it goes. Leave me ears alone. What else do we have to say? Our first members projects have been up. I haven't said that, I don't think, on stream.
Yeah.
The second one should be going up shortly. Once I've decided which one I'm doing.
Got your membership on.
Yep.
And your coffee, and you've got your fan page on Creative Fabrica.
Yep. So either one of those two. And if you're more comfortable with dollars, you probably prefer the Creative Fabrica one. If you're more comfortable with pounds, you prefer Buy Me a Coffee. The craft along, we're going to pre-record the sessions, aren't we?
I think so.
So we've started on the jelly one. Oh. Naughty, naughty, because that's a nice card. It's because it's that top corner though. It's the first corner to go. So before we go too far, let's just take off the bottom elephant because I think he's cut okay. Yeah.
Nearly cut okay.
Nearly cut okay. Frame didn't.
Naughty frame.
Yeah. So let's go back and take the Ellie out. Haven't done anything else yet, has it? So
No.
let's go for it.
Oh wait, that's a new mats.
We're waiting on new mats at the moment. So we've got our planner workshop next weekend, so that's the 22nd.
You have many stickers for that?
Just the one so far.
So that's the stickers, isn't it?
Yep, so it's planner stickers and packing them, printing them, cutting them, not necessarily in that order, and designing them as well. What else have we got going on? I started work on the project book and Scan and Cut book 2, so they're being written side by side at the moment. So with each article I'm doing, I'm like, well, which one is it going to go in?
What else?
We've got samples coming up for telly on the 17th of May for Pretty Gets Gritty. So that's going to be well worth watching because they're really fun products. If you were watching Leslie's live earlier, you'll have seen some of my samples that I did for Leslie's show, and I'm absolutely hooked on the stamps, aren't I? I've put up a review on the pastel palette as well today. So that's a new one from Derwent. And there's also going to be a couple of blog posts over the next couple of weeks that will be coming up for Creative Fabrica too. So one went yesterday, no, day before, didn't it? And then one will go tomorrow. Hey!
Ready for changing the camera again?
Yeah, so you get to be cameraman again. So hopefully you're starting to see how you can use your built-in designs to create better projects than just cutting them out on their own. Otherwise they can seem a bit faddy. I would definitely show the glue. Okay, so the glue is the Tombow Mono Liquid. Where do you want me?
Just leave it there and I'll move the camera.
Okay. There you go. So you have two ends to it. You have a broad tip for doing like wider areas, and that has little teeth so that you don't apply too much. And let's see if we can we get those if I hover over the... Yeah, it's not quite coming across on camera. And then the other end is the fine tip. it's fairly fine. It's not quite as fine as
water-based
the...
as well, isn't it? So it's quite easy to use.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's get these in the right order. So...
It doesn't take a lot of squeezing to get it out, does it?
No. No.
If they're in the UK, we have some they could probably take them.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you're in the UK, we can put those up as a listing, can't we, on Buy Me a Coffee.
Yep.
So, another Ellie with his water. It's going to be a blue-eyed Ellie. So, let's get... Don't need a lot, I have to say. So then... Let's move his trunk so that's going over the top, and we can see. Well, that kind of gives me a clue where this one's going, although let's make sure I get it the right way around, because I'm not entirely convinced it's symmetrical. I would say it's that way. Okay, so let's go for it. So I'm going to use the blue as a guide for where my little ear needs to go. And there we go. If you've got a googly eye, you could pop that in there. And if not, let's get a black fine liner, if I can find one quickly.
All those pens, you can't find a black fine
I know, all these pens I can't find a black fine liner. And what's really bad is there's these over here, so I'll just use one of those, because they don't go very far from my desk. And grab my gel pen. There we go. My little blue-eyed Ellie. Yep, the elephant does look great. So when you're looking at all your different designs, try and actually see beyond what they look like on screen, because I think on screen they can look a bit childlike, whereas if you actually start to play with them and combine them with other elements like we've done with the frames, and even if you're just adding on some inking after you've cut so that you give it a bit of shading, then you'll automatically start to make it look a bit more different, a bit more professional. So like if I was to carry on this, I'd probably put a bit of shading in here with the water. Might add some little white splotches. I might shade around here.
Get some toesies.
Yep, give it some toesies. Actually, go on. Add some here. Let's give it some little toesies. This can be a bit of a ballet dancer, this one. Turned out touches. There we go.
Only on the home foot.
No, there's one like that. So I said, turned out touches. Because otherwise the toes would be facing this way, wouldn't they? Be great if I didn't give it a toe too, and I'm done with it.
Go that way. Sorry.
There we go.
And then rhinestone mode, we're just starting a video apparently.
Yep, if ever you want to learn how to do rhinestones, then you can see who I watch. So they have lots of top tips for really complex rhinestone projects. That's it, done. So any questions before we go?
Let me put that back to... I can put it down, because me holding it is going to make me pussy sick.
Those wee toes are so cute. It's really bad now because I'm like, I'm just going to get a grey pen and I'm just going to do a bit of doodling. Because then we can start to go, right, let's give him some legs. And we'll give him a little belly so that you can see that that leg goes behind there. And that one's going to go up there and up there.
Stop playing.
Round like that.
Right.
I'll just very quickly wave that in front of your phone. There we go. Okay. So take care for now, and I will be back tomorrow morning when I'm going to be playing with stamps and dies to create a frame with the machine. So that one's going to be back to being a bit easier.